Welcome guys, and today I'm gonna show you ultimate guides how to start playing Albion in 2021. Tiny reminder guys, there is no correct way how you should start playing this game. First of all, it is Sandbox MMORPG. There are super efficient ways how you can start playing Albion and less efficient. In this example I'll show you how I would start playing Albion from scratches. So let's go. Probably you will face a queue. Yeah, this game got huge population, especially after the next content update that will be installed on the 17th of March, so be patient. As you can see on my screen, I got the same large queue on a fresh character, and let's wait. Okay, so now let's create this new character. Let's name it how to start, let it be. After you appear on a beach, you will take few quests. It is basic tutorial zone where a game will teach you how to move, how to click, where is the minimap, etc. Basic things. These quests will be available only in tutorial zone, and after you will end tutorial you will have few more quests. And that's all. It is not World of Warcraft, it is not the Elder Scrolls Online or any other MMORPGs that you get used to play. After you will finish first few quests, game will lead you to the first newbie village. During first quests, game will ask you to get resources. I recommend you to gather a bit more than you need. You will need them later. In this zone, I'll show you two tricks that might be useful a bit later. When game will ask you to craft your first gear, please craft 3 different types of gear. It is leather, cloth and plate. It doesn't matter in what order. Thanks to this trick, you will be able to open possibility to wear all types of tier 3 gear, which will save you lots of time in future. Let's move on. When you will craft your first gear, go to the toolmaker, it is this guy, and craft your first bag. Yeah, there is no quest to craft this bag, but you will need it later, so craft one bag. So when you was doing your first quests, you bought one mule on the market. Now you can go one more time to this market and buy 3 more mule. So one will be in your equipment and 3 more mules will be in your inventory. The reason is simple. These mules cost a pretty decent amount of silver for a newbie in other cities. So when you will end tutorial zone, you will just sell these mules on market, on auction house, and you will earn some money. It will help you in your future adventure. So when you done all of this, things, armor, bag, 3 mules in your inventory, you can continue your tutorial zone. The last quest will be to distract heretics and then go to the royal main continent of this game. But make sure that you took all moves before you enter this tiny location, because if you will enter this circle, you will not be able to come back. When you will end this quest, NPC will give you an opportunity to go in any royal city in Albion. It is also newbie zones. It is Martlock, Lyndhurst, Bridgewatch, Thetford, Fort Sterling. To be honest, it doesn't matter in what zone you will go. Difference between these cities is only biomes, and that's all. So choose whatever you like. In my example, I went in Martlock. And to figure out in what location you will teleport, you just can open your minimap, it is hotkey M, and see where game will teleport you. One more important thing, guys. During combat, auto attack is spacebar. You don't need to click on your mouse non-stop on left or right click. You don't need to do this. Just one button, spacebar. During tutorial, of course, a game will tell you about this, but a lot of players do not pay attention on such tiny tips. So take it into account. Let's go further. We are on the royal continent. What we're gonna do? So now you're on a tiny boat, talk to this NPC and you will get premium for 3 days. And it is very important. After ending the basic tutorial, you will get 3 days of premium. If you will skip it, you will not get this free 3 days of premium. You got 2 options. First, activate it and follow this guide. Second option, don't rush. Wait a bit, figure out what the game is, travel around the cities, figure out what this game can give you, etc. And when you will be ready to progress, activate it. Let's imagine you decide to progress to follow these guides. In this case, activate premium, take this quest and do it. But pay attention in what zone you need to go. On the right corner, there is a name of location where you need to go. Open map and check in what location you need to go. Pay attention, because lots of new players can't find this zone where they need to go. Pay attention, please. After you will end this tiny adventure, you can come back to your newbie village and finish 2 more quests. But they are not necessary to do. First quest will teach you how to use gold market in this game, and the second quest will show you what is focus in this game. I'll explain fast for you what is focus. You can get this focus only via premium, and you need it for gathering, crafting, refining, etc. Don't get me wrong, you can craft and do all other stuff even without this focus, but with this focus, efficiency will be much higher. After you will end this quest, or even if you will skip it, it doesn't matter, transport all your mules that you got in your inventory and this 1 royal seagull to the closest main city. In our example, it is Martlock. When you will enter this city, go instantly to auction house and click on a sell button and sell all your mules and this royal seagull. Very important tip. Do you see this tiny slider? Click on it. When you will click it, you will see more information about this item. For what price it was selling, for what price people were buying this item, etc. So it is very important. Always use these stats to make sure that people will not scam you. So it was our first step. We got some money and we can play the game right now. The most common mistake when people come to Albion, they open this Destiny bot. They think, oh my god, how much time I need to grind all of this. It is the most common mistake. Craft, of course you can craft your own gear. Gather, of course you can gather and then craft your gear by yourself. But you don't need to do this. Gathering and crafting in this game is fun activity. It could be efficient when you will play this game for a long time. But as a new player, you don't need to do this. Do it only if you like to do it, but you will spend a lot of time and your progression will be super slow. Don't bother about crafting and gathering when you started a new character in this game. Don't bother about it at all. Just buy all your items in auction houses. About crafting and gathering we will talk a bit later. So how does progression works in Albion? All is simple. All is simple. I can bet lots of you guys were playing Elder Scrolls Skyrim, yeah? You remember, when you was using item, more you use this item, more stronger it become. The same thing in Albion, but it works only in PvE. So when you earn your experience from killing mobs, your items that you are wearing right now on your character will be stronger. Auction houses and banks in Albion are separate, same as personal islands. So take it into account. Each city got its own economic, and by the way, it is one of the ways how you can earn money too. But this video is not about it, so let's go further. Second part, get your gear. You need to figure out in what build you will play. In this example, I will play with Claymore, Mage Robe, Hunter Hood and Soldier Boots. You can follow my example, or you can take another builds, and links on these builds will be under this video, so make sure to check it. Builds are super newbie friendly, so you will not have any problems at all. They are super simple. Since we are using this Claymore build, to open this Claymore I need to buy this item, Broadsword. For Hunter Hood I need to buy Mercenary Hood. For Mage Robe, tier 4 Mage Robe, I need to get Scholar Robe. For boots, Soldier Boots, tier 4, I need to buy tier 3 Soldier Boots. You can track all items you need in your Destiny board. Just click on N button and you'll figure out what items you need to get to able to use tier 4 gear. So when you got your tier 3 items, you can buy tier 4 items. Yes, you cannot wear it right now, but you'll be able to do it pretty soon. In this game, there are different types of tiers, basically levels. In this example, I'm buying 4.1. Point 1 means plus 1 tier. So 4.1 equal tier 5, 4.2 equal tier 6, etc. So for example, 6.1 will be equal to tier 7. It might sound complicated, but in reality it is not. You will get used to it pretty soon. So after you bought your first tier 3 gear and tier 4.1 gear, and by the way, check quality of items. Sometimes better quality will cost plus minus the same amount of silver like an item without quality. And this quality gives you a bit more power. So your items will be a bit stronger. So check it on the market. In my example, I bought outstanding quality. Outstanding quality gives you, if I'm not mistaken, 25 item power. And price is almost the same. So take it. So you're ready. Tier 3 items, 4.1 items. Time to go outside. Oh, I almost forgot. Food. Food is a very important part of Albion. Doesn't matter, PvP or PvE. Food is very important. So before we'll go outside, buy fish. Tier 6 fish. This food is almost the same as soup that you got from your tutorial. But much stronger. It will regen your health when you'll be out of combat. And thanks to this, your PvE experience will be much easier. So get 2 tier 6 fish. It would be enough, more than enough. About potions. Get at least 2 or 3 tier 4 potions, poison potions, and it will be enough. If you don't want to spend money, don't buy them, it will not be a big deal. So now you are outside. Your aim is blue zones. You can check this zone by clicking on your M hotkey and check where this zone is located. Go to the closest one, it doesn't matter. About zones. In Albion, there are 4 types of zones. It is blue, yellow, red and black. In blue and yellow, there is no full loot PvP at all. In red, there is a PvP when PK can kill you, and when you can turn on PK and kill another player. Also, there is a faction fights that can lead to death and your loss of all your equipment, but we'll talk about it later. And black zone, pure chaos. Everyone can kill everyone. So don't worry, you will not lose your items. Go to the blue zones. Now you need to find green cave. You will not be able to see them on minimap. You will not. You need to find them by your own. When you will find this and enter this location, just farm mobs. Basic and simple grinds. Your aim is to level up your gear and be able to wear your first 4.1 items that you bought on your auction house. Sometimes other players might enter this dungeon too, but don't worry, don't bother, just kill your mobs and that's all. Level up your gear, and you might think that fame is low, etc., your progression is slow, but I can assure you, it is only for the first half an hour. Later your progression will be much faster. Next very important step that you need to do, super important, is to be able to wear tier 4 cape. To check your progression when you will be able to wear this tier 4 cape, just press B button and the middle line, this one, will show you when you will be able to do it. Now go outside and go to the city. Maybe you noticed, maybe you not, but I'll remind you anyway. When you was farming, you might notice this passive line. Click on B button and this one. So, this passive line require some fame, just regular fame, to open them. And these passives allow you to deal more damage to certain types of mobs, I mean tiers, tier 4, tier 5, etc. So if you got no passives versus tier 5 mobs and you will decide to fight tier 5 mobs, you will have some problems. Your character will die pretty soon. So keep it in mind. This passive is very important, especially at the start of your journey. So you are in the city. Now what you need to do. During your farm, you probably found from chests or from bosses these tiny resources, souls, runes, relics of different tiers. Why you need them? These items are needed to enhance your gear from 4.0 to 4.1, for example, and you need runes for them. To enhance your gear from 4.1 to 4.2, you need souls. To enhance from 4.2 to 4.3, you need relics. All is simple. Now, since you can equip tier 4 cape and you need it only to get average AP, this stat, you need to go to the market, buy a bit more souls, and go to this NPC and enchant your gear to 4.2, like in this example I did with my gear. Helmet, chest, and boots. You need this 800 average AP to continue this guide. You need it, so make sure you have this average item power. It is very important. When you get this average item power, next step is yellow zones. Go to the yellow zone, roam a bit, and you need to find this red cave. So this is corrupted dungeon. What is this? It is not a regular solo random dungeon with only mobs. It is PvP activity. 1 versus 1 fight. But don't worry, in yellow zone, if you will enter this location, this corrupted dungeon from yellow zone, even if you will die, you will not lose your items. You will lose a bit durability of your items, but it doesn't matter. The thing is that in Albion, these corrupted dungeons are super broken in terms of fame and rewards that you can get, even on a hunter level, where there is no full drop. Comparing to regular solo dungeons that you was farming in blue zones a few minutes ago, this corrupted dungeon on a hunter level is a huge, insanely huge boost to your fame farm. I remind you that use only these builds that I suggested you. These builds are simple, they are efficient in PvE and in PvP, and they are super simple. So you will be able to have 60 or 70% win rate if you will fight versus other players. And take into account that there are lots of new players like you. And if you will use these builds that I showed you guys, you will have a pretty high win rate, and even if you will die, it doesn't matter. So why I suggest you to go there on top of these insane rewards for new players? It is experience. Sooner you will learn how to PvP in this game, in 1v1 fights. Faster you will get money. It will be much faster comparing to other new players. I can bet when a new update will arrive on 17th of March, lots of players will farm these solo random dungeons, will waste lots of time, their progression will be super slow comparing to you if you will follow these steps. As I said to you before, guys, experience is much more valuable thing than your fame, item power, even your silver. It is much more valuable. So sooner you will get this experience, sooner all would be Gucci. So you overcome your fear of PvP and you enter this dungeon. So what you need to do? Don't worry, instantly activate this shrine. When you activate this shrine, it means that you are ready for PvP, and sooner or later another player will invade you, or you will invade another player. Just keep farming. And each armor piece, chest piece, got this ability, Mend Wounds. Use it during PvE, but But when someone will invade you or you will invade someone, change your spell on PvP spell. In our case, it is this ability. In case if you will use Mercenary Jacket, it will be Bloodlust. In case if you are using Cleric Robe, it will be Everlasting Spirit. This guide is not about your rotation. Of course you will die, and of course you will kill. Because, again, there will be lots of new players too. So don't worry about it. Rewards will be much higher. Even if you kill a guy in a hunter level, you will get some rewards. Some silverbacks, some items, random items, not from his inventory. These items will be randomly generated by this instance. So these items is not from his inventory, and if you will die to someone else in PvP and your enemy will loot your body, he will not loot items from your inventory. So don't worry, you will not lose your items. I can bet when you will enter this hunter level, your tier 5 Reaver will not be leveled up. It is not a problem, When you will clear your first corrupted dungeon, I mean all mobs, don't hit bosses, wait a bit. When you will clear all mobs, you will level up this tier 5 Reaver and then you can easily kill all bosses. So now let's repeat steps. You come to the city, you leveled up your gear to 4.2, entered hunter level corrupted dungeon, cleared all mobs, participate in a fight, win or lose, and do it again until you will learn how to play on your build. It might take some time, but it is one of the best ways how you can earn silver as a new player with zero experience. Just believe me, it is one of the most broken ways how you can do it. If you want to progress further and much faster, you can go to the second level of these corrupted dungeons. It is Stalker level. But be very careful, because in Stalker level you will lose all your items in case of death. Same as if you will kill your enemy, you will get his items too. If you decide to go there, make sure that you are using super cheap gear. I mean only 4.2 items. As you can see in my example, I'm using very expensive cape that increase my damage. It's called Keeper Cape. As a new player, I do not recommend you to use such faction capes at all. Use a regular one, 4.0 or 4.1. And that's all. You don't need high tier cape, especially faction capes. You don't need them. So if you will have at least 50% win rate with this build that you are playing on Claymore or on a Curse, on a bow, on a light crossbow, and again, these builds will be in description under this video. You will be fine. You will be fine, you will earn much more money than you will lose. But it is the next step. Stalker Dungeon, it is the next and the final step where you will play non-stop until you will get your first money to premium. Or for something else. Let's come back to the hunter level. Yes, probably you will not play perfectly. Of course you will not. You are a new player. But the fastest way how you can learn how to press buttons, what abilities exist in the game, what to expect from your enemy, is real 1v1 fights. It is not duels. It is not arenas. They might help you, of course. They might help you. Yeah. But it is not the same thing. It is not the same emotions. For this tutorial, I created a new character. From scratches, with no specs, a trial premium for 3 days. And I was able to farm my first 9 millions of silver, and you need exactly the same amount of silver for premium right now, at least, in several hours. It is really possible. I did not die at all. On a hunter, on a stalker level, I got 100% win rate. Of course, you will not have such win rate. Of course, you will not. If you will have at least 50% win rate, it is a good success, guys. It is really good results. For a new player, it is really good results. It might take not several hours, it might take 2-3 days, maybe even 4 days, but it is much faster if we compare to regular farm of solo random dungeons. Don't forget about other new players. Zones in yellow, blue, and even in red zones will be super overpopulated. There will be even no place to farm. So do your progression in corrupted dungeons. It is the best way, I guarantee you. And by the way, there will be a giveaway of these items that I got on my alt account for this video at the end of this video, so don't miss it. Let's imagine you are ready. You feel that you're ready to go with your build on a stalker level with full loot drop. You feel confident, you get used to play with your build, with this claymore build or with other builds that I showed you before. You got pretty high win rates, you know how to do, you know what your spells do, how do they work, etc. You're ready. As I was mentioning before, first of all, don't use expensive gear. Don't use faction keeps. Yeah, it is the first rule. The second thing, you can enter these Stalker corrupted dungeons only in red or black zones. So, if you want to focus your first days of your gameplay around these corrupted dungeons in red zones on a Stalker level, I strongly recommend you to move to Albion. It is this central city. And the reason is simple. Wherever you go from Albion, there are lots of red zones, and you will find entrance to this corrupted dungeon pretty fast. On top of that, you will be able to sell all your loot almost instantly to this guy, Black Market. What is Black Market in Albion? Black Market, it is basically an NPC that is buying items from players for a certain amount of silver, and then put these items into mobs as a drop to another players. It is a very simple explanation, I know, super simple explanation, but that's the basic thing that you need to know about this black market. Even in my example, I moved to Albion to be able to find these dungeons much more often, corrupted dungeons. Giveaway. All you need to do, type any comment plus your in-game nickname. In-game nickname. In few days, on 20th of March, so basically in 3-4 days, I will choose one random guy and will give these items. Not even these items, I will give a skin that is equal to 9 million of silver. It is basically will be your premium. So good luck, guys. Again, type any comments and your in-game nickname. That's all. Results you will see on community page on this channel. So make sure that you subscribed. It was the most efficient way right now in the game how you can earn silver in Albion. The most efficient way. There is no fastest way at all. There is no. If you're a solo, new player, no. But there are alternatives if you don't like PvP. So what if this way will not fit you? You don't want to participate in PvP almost instantly when you just launch this game. You want slow progression. You want to figure out what builds on this game, what abilities. Slow progression, it is not a mistake, it is personal choice. What if you want to choose this way? There is an option how you can do it. It is just simple grind of solo random dungeons. And under this video you will also find links on a few builds with high clear speed. In this case, if you will decide to farm solo random dungeons, you need to go as soon as possible, at least to the red zones. Yeah, there will be a risk of dying, because PKs can kill you, player killers can kill you in red zones. But if you will use super cheap gear, it will be enough for clearing, but in case of death, you will not lose anything. So if you will decide to go there, I recommend you to take factions. What is factions are? Each city in this game got its own faction. Martlock, Lyndhurst, Thetford, Fort Stelling, Bridgewatch, Lyndhurst, and Albion. They got their own factions. And if you will see enemy faction player, you can kill him. In blue and yellow zone, you will not die. You will not die. But in the red zone, you will lose all your items. And the main thing, you will not see your enemy on your minimap indicator. You will not see him. So it is risk. But again, if you will use super cheap gear, like 4.1 items, for example with the Great Ox, who cares? Why it doesn't matter? For each PvE activity in this game while your faction flagged, you can earn faction points. And these faction points you can spend on different goods that might be sold on markets. And even if you will die, you will not lose these points. So it is stable way how you can earn silver too in this game. Also, you can go and farm these solo random dungeons in black zones. It is good way. Yeah, population in these black zones will be not so high as on the Royal Continent, but risk of dying will be much higher. And the reason is travel time, because you need to travel from one zone to another and then you need to come back and not to die to gankers. For a solo player, it might be a problem, and when you will die first time, when you will not even notice why, you will be super frustrated. There is one trick with solo dungeons. Not a trick, I would say mechanic, in-game mechanic for a pretty long amount of time. When you enter a solo random dungeon, entrance to this dungeon will be closed after 90 seconds. So you just need to click on this button. Let's imagine you entered a solo dungeon. Click on this button, press logout, and you will see these numbers. In dungeon, it will not be 10 seconds. It will be much more. So just wait for 90 seconds and entrance will be closed. It means that nobody will come from behind and nobody will be able to kill you. That's how you can farm super safe, and you don't even need to worry about your deaths. You will not die. In Black Zone, you can enter via these portals. As you can see, each city got its own portal. Fort Stelling, for example, Martlock, and other cities. Except of Callion. Callion got no portal at all. Also, there is an option to buy a solo random dungeon map. There is tier 6, tier 7, tier 8, tier 5 solo maps. They are super cheap. But don't never buy 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 6.1, 6.2. Don't buy these 0.1, 0.2, etc. maps. Don't. They are super expensive and they do not worth it. Take into account that another player can enter this solo random dungeon too. So be ready to fight an enemy or be ready to lose your silver that you spent on this map. About premium. This 3 days premium that you got from your tutorial zone will not reduce your queue time when you will try to log into Albion. To reduce it completely, you need to get premium via silver or via cash. About personal islands. Yup, you can buy it only with premium. And on your personal islands, you can create a farm, raise animals, etc. You might think that why I cannot create a personal island without premium? It is unbalanced, it is not fair, but in reality, nah. These personal islands are nice, they will not give you lots of profit. The only way how you can earn decent amount of silver via personal islands if you will have huge amount of alt accounts, and only thanks to this you can earn huge amount of silver. Otherwise, it is just a tiny bonus, so don't bother about it. If you don't have a personal island, it is not a big deal. About guilds in this game. I strongly do not recommend you to join any big guilds, alliances during your first days in Albion. I do not. Figure out what kind of build you want to play. Roam around the world. Ask people, watch different tutorials, etc. And only when you will not know what to do next, if you will not enjoy game, or if you want to participate in party content, or even in Zerg content, guilds versus guilds, only in this case join guild. But be very careful, because there are lots of guilds that are scamming new players via taxes, so beware. About gathering and crafting, if you will decide to do such content, make sure that you will use journals. These journals you can buy on auction houses too. So basically, when you will do these PvE activities, when you will gather resources, or when you will craft a certain type of armor or weapon, you will fill these journals. These journals is a huge part of your total profit. You can sell them later on auction houses too. So it is very important thing. If you want to do gathering and crafting, use journals. Next very important tip. How to look what items my enemy is using. Fast. There is a hotkey for this. When you click on enemy nickname, there is a hotkey on the keyboard, Y. Click on this button and you will able to inspect your enemy instantly. You can change all these buttons in your settings. On top of that, when you will launch Albion, I recommend you to turn off this setting, Force Combat Mode. What does it do? For example, when you are fighting in PvP or in PvE, during this fight, you will not be able to pick up items or silver if this button is active. I strongly recommend you to turn it off. And one more question that I can predict, probably how to use such resolution in Albion. Well, like this. And yes, it will increase your global view, it will help you in PvP and in PvE. You can make such resolution via NVIDIA control panel. It will work not only on ultra-wide screens. No. Long time ago I was playing on a square monitor and I was doing the same thing. You will get much more view via NVIDIA control panel. If you got AMD video cards, use the same soft as NVIDIA. You can Google it on YouTube and you will find your answers pretty fast. So that's how you can change your resolution via NVIDIA control panel. Next in-game tip is always, guys, it doesn't matter how much money you have, how confident you feel, but do not use super expensive gear. Do not use gear that you can afford to lose. Especially if you are planning to farm in red and black zones, if you are planning to play on a stalker level in corrupted dungeons. When you got a bubble, when you are entering another zone, yeah, for example, you want to go in the black zone, you get a bubble, protection bubble. If you see that someone is giving you a party invite, do not click. Because if you will click on this party invitation, you will lose your bubble and gankers will kill you. It is some sort of scam in this game. The same thing is about corpse. If you see a dead body with some sort of loot, do not ever click on this body if there are players around. Or even if you don't see any players, don't click on this body while you got a bubble, because in this case you will lose it and you might die. About item power. As you can see, there are lots of weapons in one weapon line. For example, if you decide to play on Claymore, this one, and you will level up it to 100, it will give you plus 20 item power for all swords, which will increase damage of a dual swords, etc, etc. And this bonus can be summarized, and it will work together. For example, a new player, when will log into Albion, you will see, oh, how much specs I need to level up, and you don't need to do it. You don't need to do it. If you want to play on dual swords, 100 spec on dual swords, or if you decide to play on carving swords, 100 spec on carving swords is more than enough to be on equals with other in open worlds when there will be no IP cap. So if you want to have more specs, a bit more specs, do it. but 100 spec is more than enough. Just believe me, when you will leave city and you will roam around, you might find such portals or another blue entrances. It is group dungeons. Basically the same as solo random dungeons, this one green cave, but for a group of players. Also, you might face such portals. This one. There are 3 types: blue, green, and yellow one. It is Roads of Avalon. When you enter this road, there will be full loot PvP area. So if you will die or if you will kill someone, you will get the items. So I don't recommend you to enter these zones if you're a new player, just for fun, or if you wonder what is this, do not enter them until you will be ready to die again, and only visit these full loot PvP zones with super cheap gear. So this road leads to another types of location in the world. For example, this road might lead to this location or to another locations. I'll show you. So we entered this road from Fort Stelling and enter a tiny Avalonian Roads. When we'll go, for example, like this, it is what? Long Shadow Plain. And it is zone near Bridgewatch. So such roads are connected between each other. Every day during daily maintenance, and yes, in the game there is a daily maintenance each day during around 1 hour, these roads will reset. So tomorrow this road will be totally different and maybe it will be located in totally another place. And it will lead to, for example, a black zone or zone near Martlock. Just an example. That's what this portal is. Sometimes when you will roam around the world, you will see these floating stones. It is Hellgates. It is group PvP activity. 2v2, 5v5 and 10 versus 10. Let's imagine you don't like this way of progression. You want to try different types of armor, builds, etc. and it is wise choice too. If you decide to play in another way, not according to this guide or according to another guides, I strongly recommend you to level up all weapons. This one, weapon and armor types to tier 4. This level 1 to tier 4. And try all weapons, all spells in the game. In arenas, in duels, in open world while you are fighting mobs, etc. It will help you to understand basic mechanics, what basic mechanics exist in Albion. It will help you a lot. And on top of that, if you don't know what weapon you will like, maybe you would like to play on spears. Why not? It is a cool weapon too. Yeah, it is a bit more complicated for new players, but if you will learn how to play and kill players on spears, you will be good at this game. You will. There are much easier weapons like, for example, bows or swords. It is up to you. But again, level up your all weapons and armor to tier 4. And then you can follow this guide. And now let's summarize. In my opinion, this way of farming is one of the most efficient and fun ways how you can start playing Albion right now. And as I was saying before, these corrupted dungeons are super broken in terms of profits and fame, at least right now. So if you want fast progression, if you are ready for challenges, do it. Play like I did in this example. If you are not ready, not a problem, take a pure PvE set and farm solo random dungeons. Join guild, find new friends, and enjoy your gameplay. That's the main thing, guys, that's the main thing. I hope this guide and these tips, this tutorial was useful. Don't forget to press like button, it is very important, and don't forget to participate in this tiny giveaway. Okay guys, see you later and bye.